Alrighty. Today's what, Wednesday? Happy to hump day. Hooray, it's the middle of the week already. It's exciting. We got the Jackson Hole at the end of the week. I got an article I grabbed and saved. I haven't really read it, but the headline itself just kind of emphasizes why I've been mumbling about it for the last, 5-6 days. Again, markets seem to defy the physical gravity of the it's the physical logical history, not gravity, just literally the history of the marketplace. We've been talking about this for months upon months now, since May. It's very clear the markets are staring at one thing and one thing only. And I know a lot of you would like to say oh no, it's inflation or it's an interest rates or it's the election. They just refuse to not talk about it. I mean, every financial channel, it comes up on some level or another, or the Bloomberg and the CNBC and so forth, and Reuters the least, and the Newsmax and the Business Channel, the Fox Business Channel itself, not the Fox News, but the Fox Business Channel, is even just more prolific and just pushes the idea more and more and more every day. And it's been going on for months now. We're getting ready to go into September. I mean, they started looking at this in May and April. No, April and May. So May, June, July. Now we're clearing August. Almost 4 months ago, they started this rampage. I mean, that's all it was. At the end of the primaries or the major primaries, and now we had New York State and Florida yesterday. But, I mean, they've just been pressing this issue over and over and over, and it just will not stop. And I can only kind of, in my head, the only thing I can relate to is it must be, the markets are doing the classic. They're doing the, what do you call it? Buy on rumor, sell on news. And so that's what they're really doing more than anything else. They're trying to do that. And as long as they keep on trying to do that, they're going to do that. I mean, there's no stopping it. I'm not sure why my one computer here will not open up. Let's see what's going on here. Come on. I want to see what the chat line looks like and see who's in the house today. Control. Let's do an Alt-Control. Delete. There we go. Finally, it opens up. Good. There we go. So that is the thrust of it all, and there's no stopping it. I don't care what they say. Now let's go over and take a look at that headline. I just wanted to show you that headline. It really cracked me up when I saw it last night. I was tired. I didn't want to read it. But I just had to laugh at it. It just was like it was very emphasizing of I think it's the Goldman brokers. Is that it right there? There it is, right here it comes. Who's afraid of Jackson Hole? The 10-year U.S. Treasury yield climbed to 3% yesterday, and the euro dived below parity. However, future markets are still pricing in the Fed pivot on May 23rd. So there's still upward potential for yields and downward potential for the euro. Let's see, where is it at? Let's see what else they got to say. High rates, okay. As we all discussed in last translation, wishful thinking of the market. I guess the FOMC. And also, let me just say this. Let me stop after this real quick. And that is that I understand now Powell will not speak until after the markets are closed on Friday, which means that there's not even an aftermarket. The aftermarket closes at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So he's probably going to speak or release after 5 o'clock, which will make it, I think they might be Rocky Mountain time. So that might be like 3 in the afternoon. So he could actually do the cocktail hour in many ways. In other words, just be right on the edge of the marketplace, totally closed. In other words, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard, the U.S. stock market closes. The options close at 4:15 on the stock indices. And at 5 o'clock, they shut it down for the weekend. So Powell, I'm told, is only speaking after the markets are closed. So I mean, the clearest message I can tell out of it all is, there's an article out there, Goldman Sachs, who's totally afraid of what's going to happen. Bankers are afraid. I don't know why they're afraid. 3/4 point more increase. If they don't understand that now, they'll never understand it. So we're going to go from I think we're at 1 3/4, 2. So we'll go to 2.5, 2.25 to 2.5, and we're still underneath the 3% area. So I don't understand this fear factor, but this is the media. They sing their song. Remember, they're still debating the mainstream media here in the United States after 2 full quarters of GDP minus, 2 full quarters, 6 months of it. They're still debating if it's a recession. The media in this country will come up with almost the most inane ideas and concepts. There is no border crisis. Inflation is transitory. The Chinese flu didn't come from China. It just goes on and on and on. I'm waiting for this computer to kick up more. All right, we're getting closer. Let's put it that way. There we go. Now, okay, you'll see me even come into the room. And there we go. Okay, so we have Jordan. Hey, Jordan, would you like to look at YOLO? Sure, I'd love to look at YOLO. Bought and paid for. Always. What's that? Always is saying the media is bought and paid for. Exactly. It's a good explanation. Yeah, the news. It's bought and paid for. You're right. Totally 100%. I never say that out loud too much, but you're right. That's exactly the way to look at it. Yeah, let's jump over. Let's move the crazy story out of the way. But, who's afraid of... What kind of headline is that? Who's afraid of Jackson Hole? Oh, my God. Let's take a look at... Was it BOLO? YOLO? Let's go find YOLO. And we'll put it in there. There it comes. Yeah, Powell's not even going to speak. He won't even speak. Isn't that amazing? Until after the markets are closed. What's he going to say? We're increasing, we're staying on course. Everybody knows that already. All right, let's see if we can find a spot to put YOLO. YOLO. Let's try it right there. Durable goods just came in. It was unchanged. Okay, YOLO. YOLO. Trying it one more time, Hans. Look up. Yep, we got YOLO. It's on ARCA. Good. It's on all the exchanges. Excellent. Here it comes. It's a $5 stock. There we go. All right, so it went into a buy here and then went into a sell and back into the buy, and now 2 weeks now we've been in a sell there. Just throw some lines in there for you. Let's see what we can do. We'll grab this one. Well, that was good there. Move it this way. YOLO went into a sell up in the $10 area. Boy, it cruised for a while down to the 6. Went into a weekly buy there. Rolled right back over again. Let's get that in there. There's a sell. And then a buy. Now it's getting a little jumpy, isn't it? There, and there, and there, and there. And then there. And last but not least, back into the sell again last week. There we are. Pink. There's your weekly. Now let's grab all these and play with them. Went into the sell right there for that. So that's cool. Got into the buy for that. So let's move that buy over like that. Then it was in a sell again from here. Right there. Then we grab this one there for the buy again, right there. And then we put a sell in here again, like right there. Let's widen this out too. Moving it up. How's that? It's a little bit clearer, huh? Let's see. Always says they literally changed the definition to recession to cover it up. Yep, I agree. What do you think the outlook is for the rest of the year? Well, I'm still, I'm in the camp that really believes that the Republicans have a good shot at having a veto-proof majority. Okay? Under Clinton, they lost 40 seats in the midterms on average. Under Obama, they lost 63 seats in the midterms. And so under Biden, I'm thinking at least 83. I'm just going to throw another 20 on there. So I kind of think that pushes them into a supermajority. And so they could change. They'll be able to start drilling, opening up pipelines. They'll be able to. Biden won't be able to do executive orders. I mean, it'll just go on and on and on. They'll start transporting natural gas to Europe. I think things are going to change pretty dramatically. That's what I think. So that's what I think is for the rest of the year. Some think we are going to have a bad time beginning of the next year also. It all comes down to the election. It really does. And what I see says, we got a shot at a supermajority. They're going to take the House. They're going to take the Senate. But we have a chance to take a supermajority in the House. And we take a super House majority. And, for, let's say, last 90 years, Democrats have had supermajorities or just strong majorities over the last 90 years. Okay? And the Republicans haven't had a supermajority since 1871. So what is that? That's 160 years ago. 150 years ago? 150 years ago. So I think that, just like card counters, the odds say that we must be coming onto it. We've had majorities in the House, but they haven't been anything special. We've had some. I remember in '94 when Gingrich took the House. I remember them saying, "Wow, this is kind of unruly because there's too many of them in some ways." But when you get a supermajority with the same mindset, that could really change things. I don't think we're that far off. Newt Gingrich is claiming that right now. He's out there saying that he thinks we got a shot at a supermajority also. No one else is mentioning it. Newt is a good vote counter, I can tell you that. And if that happens, boom, the economy is going to turn around. It's going to be like a Trump. It's going to be like a honeymoon of Trump, because you're going to have 2 full years of Trump policies, and then Trump is going to be campaigning to finish it off. It's going to be like the cherry on the top of a dessert, So, to me, the markets are anticipating this. I mean, let's just go take a look at Let's finish off YOLO for Jordan. How's that looking, Jordan? Any of it make any sense to you? Let's see. Let's put the red one in there. And then that green one right there. The math is doing a pretty good job. You can see it went into a sell there. That was legit. That went into a buy there, and that's cool. It was in a sell throughout that whole adventure there. Matter of fact, it was in a sell for that. I guess it went into the buy right there for a day. And went right back into the sell the next day. And we were in a weekly sell here. So this ride from the $6.77, almost $7 area, $6.93, all the way down to, I mean, there was the buy at the $5.73 area. So I hope that's, what do you think, Jordan? Does that make sense to you? And then you can see here it's gotten a little choky. Goes into a buy, but it's in a daily sell. Goes into a weekly sell. It's a half decent little trade if you're shorting this thing. You know, from the 567 area, that's where it closed. Trades down to 551, and then it gets into a buy, and it goes back into a sell again, but then it's in a buy, so you can't take that. The math has been doing a good job. I trust it pretty well. You can see it here, sell. Is this like all-time lows, or what's going on there? Can we get that on J4X? Let's see if we can get that on J4X. Oh, that's not the keyboard. That's the keyboard. And that's not the keyboard either. I've hit two keyboards and it's not theirs. There we are. There's YOLO. Let's look at, let's check out the Nikkei. Hey, Robin. Let's see what the Nikkei's doing. But yeah, this has been pretty good. We can keep track of this. We'll throw a save on this so we don't lose it. This way, when you go, where's YOLO? I can, just go right to it. Save. Yes. Okay, now, Nikkei. Bonsai. Bonsai. Konnichiwa. There it is right there. There's the Nikkei. Still sliding down from the sell of 2 days ago. Right there. Breaking down here, you can see the weekly's trying to put that pressure on. I thought we put the weeklies in this thing. I'm almost dead sure we put the weeklies in this thing. I gotta save this thing. And where are all those weeklies we put in? I know we put weeklies into this. There we are. Save as. Let's save it all the way. There, save as. Bingo. Alright, we got both of those saved now. That's pretty good. Yeah, Robin, how about that? YOLO. YOLO. Yeah, they're under pressure. You can see that. But again, look where they started from. No more than a month, 2 months back. We were in a weekly buy 2, 4, 6. This is the 7th week. And it's well above where it started from in here. Right there. That week. So, looking at the S&P, there's the S&P, same situation. You can see here, we went into the buy here in the same middle of July. And we went from a low the day before of 3,700. That was at 3,866, and it's holding up pretty well. It's not even banging through the fours yet. And we're like the Nikkei going on a fourth day. I think the Nikkei was 4. I guess 3 days on the Nikkei, 4 days on the S&P. So as much as this has fallen from the highs to here, compared to where it's come from, it's not as bad, you know. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. The was it the last? Was it the last 4 days? The Dow's been down almost 1,000 points. It's like 1,100 points to be exact. Yeah. I mean, the Dow closed at 5 days ago. The Dow closed at 3,400 on the futures contract, and now it's trading at 34,000 on the futures contract. Now it's trading at 32,870. It's over 1,100 points. So yeah, that's a good push. But again, it rallied from 30,000 to 34,000. So it moved up 4,000 points, and now it's giving back, maybe a third. That's not too bad. No, I'm right there with you, 47. I agree. Yeah, it's been the last 4 days have been a punch. I'm not even sure why they would punch. It may be profit taking more than anything else. The weekly won't give up. Now, we have seen plenty of product go into a daily sell and drag the weekly slowly like a burn into the sell. And we'll see if this thing gets back into well, look, Powell is going to speak after the markets close on Friday. So Monday morning could be a pretty exciting time. We could have a very exciting, or Sunday night could be a very exciting time, either one. Or European Open could be a real exciting time. I guess that's the best way to look at it. That makes sense to everybody out there? And again, who's afraid of Jackson Hole? I don't know why they'd be concerned. I guess, I'm going to go with always. Always rised, is right. They're just paying the media to say stupid things. I just don't, why are we really concerned about Jackson Hole? It's the media that's driving us crazy about it. So, all right, where are we at from there? I guess we go look at the dollar index on J4X, and then we'll get rolling along with all the currencies and so forth. Mm-hmm. Let's see, where is it at? There it is, right there. You see all that green going on with it. You can see the same thing over here on Chicago. Right there. It's at the highs of the last couple of days, just hanging around there. They can't, I guess, I try to look at the fundamentals, even when I know we can't trust them as much. But you got to figure that money is thinking that rates are going up. Now, the market is going down at the moment, but, it's just not there. It's just not there, in a sense of, there's no innuendo, there's no guessing, really. We know there's nothing there. We know they're going to raise rates. They'll raise it to the 3.5 area because that's where everything is lined up. By the time, look, they raise rates in September, and then they raise rates in November, and then the election comes along. Okay, a week later, I think their meeting is on the 3rd, and the election is the following Tuesday. Okay, so it's like Wednesday, I think is the 3rd of November. Let me just take a look at the calendar. Yeah, November is the 3rd is Thursday. So chances are the meeting starts. I think maybe it's his press conference is probably Wednesday, on the 2nd, and then the following week is the election. And if they take a super majority, first they win the House, people will be happy. But then, if they take a supermajority, people are going to be walking around going, "What does that mean? What does that mean?" It'll be like, "Oh yeah, Doc's been talking about it for 5 months now." It means that it's the whole complexion of our political system. Our leadership, not system itself, but the political leadership goes to the House. So the presidency, the House becomes the presidency. Hence, let me just say this about that. You take a look at all those buildings down in Washington, D.C., and a lot of them are named after the speakers of the Rayburn and all like that. They're all named after these speakers of the House. And, it's because they had super majorities and they superseded the president. They did whatever they wanted to do. They were the president. When you get a super majority in the House of Representatives, as long as you control the Senate and can pass a bill, and all you need is 51. 51. That's all you need. We have 50 now. So you're going to have if you have a super majority, the Speaker of the House becomes the President of the United States, basically. The power of the Speaker is they can't nominate certain people. In other words, the President has the job of nominating, but they got to get passed. And if they don't get passed in the House and the Senate, it doesn't matter who they nominate. And so one of the tricks, here's another thing. Here's one of the tricks that's going to occur. That is that when you have a supermajority and you keep the House in session all the time, so someone has to be standing on the floor, a majority to the Democrats. So in other words, if there's 50 Democrats, you have 51 Republicans there. And same thing in the Senate. If you have 3 senators, then you have to have 4 Republican senators there. As long as you have in session, as long as you keep it in session, the president can't even what they call temporarily appoint someone. That's how powerful a supermajority is. He can't even temporarily appoint somebody. So if we get that supermajority that myself and Newt Gingrich are talking about all the time, then what you see is you're going to see McCarthy, who's a big Trumper, is going to be basically the President of the United States, basically. He'll be the Speaker of the House, which will have all the power that the President normally has. Oh, I hear you. We need it so bad. I agree. So, that's where we're at. What else can we say about any of this stuff? I guess that's about it. And I know what it is. Doc doesn't say this to talk politics. I'm telling you, I see this in the market. My math shows me that they're not ebbing and flowing the way they should be. In other words, they're anticipating this. I think the markets are anticipating this, and that's why it's strong. And that's why people are going like, the Jackson Hole this, or they're afraid of interest rates that. And that's what it really comes down to. That's exactly what's really it's coming down to. So, in the end result, basically now we're going to see in what is this? This is we're at the end of August, so September and October. So we have about 2.5 months to go. All right, let's go over to the currency pairs. Let's take a look at the euro. There's the euro this morning. You can see it's still flirting with the lows of yesterday. Same thing over on J4X, I'm assuming, with no problem. There's right there. Both of them are putting that pressure on. There we go. What else can we say about that? I guess that's, you can see we went into the week, I guess, you can see it there. We went through a little hesitation going back in June, July, where every week it was going in and out, in and out. And I guess they were trying to make their decision. Money was trying to make its decision. The buyers and sellers were trying to make their decision. And then they went into the sell, and it collapsed from the 106 area down to 99. And now they tried to bring it back up. You can see that slope, and now just over a week and a half, boom, in a daily sell since the almost the topping here, and here we are challenging the lows again. And that's where we're standing at the moment. Is that the euro, the dollar itself is just kind of firm. Let's check it out on cable. See what the cable looks like. There it is, right there. Lots of red also. Take a look at it over on Chicago. There it is. Pressure's on. When you raise rates in the States, you got to assume money is going to head towards it because, how was I saying it yesterday? I sometimes I say things I think I'm kind of, it's funny and true at the same time. And that is that let's see how it works. I guess the best way to describe it is, in America, the bonds have been buy low, sell higher, okay? And in Europe, unfortunately, the government bonds have been buy low and sell lower. So that's what has been the problem, and we're starting to hopefully see a change in course here. We need to. The inflation is trying to force this stuff up a little bit there. So I mean that's where we're at the moment. The marketplace is trying to. How do you describe it? I guess the marketplace is trying to lift. It is trying to lift. It is trying to put that push into it. When you have 8% inflation, I think Europe has like 6%. We have 8.5%. When you have that type of thing, you got to pay some interest on the bonds. Can you imagine? People are going to look back at this era and they're just going to shake their heads. Financial people are going to look back at this era and they're going to go from 2008, from the beginning of the Obama administration, all the way to, during the election, and all the way. That's that anticipation again. Markets started to really collapse as Obama looked like he was really going to win, and then the financial market collapsed with it across the whole planet, and we lost things like Merrill Lynch and Citibank and Santander and Lloyd's of London and all these other major banks, Deutsche Bank and all. They're still around. They're just owned by the central banks now. That's all. They own them and they keep the name out there. I mean, some of them, like Merrill Lynch, got sold to Bank of America, and Bear Stearns got sold to J.P. Morgan. But overall, the central banks own a large chunk of these things. So, markets anticipate things, and that's why the market is firm now. It's anticipating the potential for a supermajority. Smart money is doing it. So they know that if they dare get out of their position, that's why when you go back and look at the stock indices, let me just look at that again. Where's it at? Right there. When they go back to the stock indices, they're not really selling it down that hard compared to where it came from. That's the Dow. And that's why. Is because money who invested is not interested in getting out. They're just interested in position adjustments. That's all it really comes down to. So, all right, back to the currencies. And let's take a look at the Swiss. You see, that's the pressure. And I would say that the currencies reflect it, the stock indices reflect it, and that is they're anticipating a healthier America and a more responsible America. I don't know how else to look at it. Trump only 50%. What do you mean Trump only 50%? Last poll I saw, Trump is in the 80s and the 90s. He's in 95% with the independents. 95. Never have I ever in my lifetime seen independents so over lopsided for a Republican candidate. The Dow. Trump only. What do you mean? Oh, the market was up 50% under Trump. Yeah, that makes sense. That's I mean, it was a good market. I mean, what did it do? It went from 13. Where are we at now? 30,000, 34,000. Yeah, I mean, and we went from under Trump. Yeah, you can see it here. Put it on J4X. J4X is really good for looking at the longer view. Let's make it a weekly. Yeah, so he got elected in 16. Markets started anticipating that right there. And it was at the 18,000 area. I think at election night. Let's see, what was it? Was it election night? I think at election night. Let's see if we can find election night. It swung wild. When it looked like he was going to win, it just took off. There it is right there. So it was down in the 17s. And we went all the way up to the 36s or 37s. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's the COVID right there. This is where he loses the House right there. But he proves that he can still do things. That's why they had to do the COVID on him. Can anyone trade on J4X? Yeah. I mean, you just open an account with Dukascopy. But not, if you're in America, you can't. But you can be involved in the contests and so forth. You can utilize it. Yeah, it's a brokerage house. It's a subsidiary of Swiss Bank. All right, it's their discount arm, basically. I guess it's become a discount arm of Swiss Bank. So it's backed by Swiss Bank and so forth. From there, let's jump over to the euro, lira. Oh, let's do dollar lira first. See if it's banging around the right there. The 18s still hanging out in the 18s at all-time highs. 1816 high today. 1870 high 5 days ago. So it's hanging around the all-time highs. Strength has been there. Let's put it up. There it is right there. Doc, Duca got its license in 2004 already. You are stating the prior 98 to 24 setup where Dukascopy did not have had its. Okay. Okay. So always is asking if he can trade through you guys. So I guess you just tell him to go. Oh, trade on J4X. Can you put your orders through J4X, Janos? I think that's what. Okay, there it is, right there. Perfect. That's what I figured. So it's a yes always. It's definitely a yes. And he put a. Janos put something up there. Cool. Good job. Thank you. So, where are we at? Oh, yes. So, yeah, I mean, let's take a look at Euro, Turkish Lira. Right there. Now, that's kind of, just trades more like a currency instead of that crazy index mass drive. Just note the registration for some people takes long. Okay. That's good. Legal checks are major. I think that's a very good thing. All right. There's no rush. You know, you got to let things play themselves out. Fill out the papers and do it. And next thing you know, you'll be A-okay. Where are we at? Oh, yeah. So Turkish lira. It's in that daily sell for a bunch. Let's see. I guess it went into the... I could have sworn I put that buy in. I'm stealing this buy. I don't even feel like making one. There it is, right there. And then it went right back into the sell again. So the pressure is there, but we're in that weekly buy still in this thing. I don't know what they're trying to figure out. I guess, you know, there's a lot of good activity between the European Union and Turkey. So, let's see now. What else are we going to look at here? I guess from the Turkish lira we go to the Canadian. So let's look at the Canadian. Let's see what the Canadian's doing. I'd imagine it's down. In other words, it's gaining against the dollar. Yep, I was wrong. They did it yesterday, but still stayed in the buy. Now they're popping back up. What are they doing to oil? I thought oil was up. I saw oil up way early this morning, about 4 hours ago. I haven't looked at it since, and it's still up. I'm surprised. Look at that. Nice spike there. I am really surprised that that Canadian is going up. Let's go back to Canadian. That is surprising me there. I guess it's the Jackson Hole thing? I don't know. Rate increase will distort that too, you know. Now let's jump over to... Where are we jumping over to? Let's jump over to the South African Rand. ZAR, right there. You see it's up on the day, but trying to come down a little bit. And you can see the daily is very on its edge. Let's take a look at it over here. There's on J4X. You know, that pressure's on it there. It is at the top end of its range. I was saying that yesterday. You know, that could be a good sign that the metals complex is getting ready to lift. I saw silver this morning when I did look at it. It was really on the edge of going into a buy. Okay, gold is down. So that's not helping it any. All right. You know, I keep on thinking we're going to see some strength in the metals complex going into September, October. So here we are. We're just a week away now to September. I think the 1st is Thursday. You just look. The 1st is... Yeah, the 1st is Thursday. So, oh, then we'll be in September, and then we'll be, you know, I think the first time we get a daily buy with all this strength and a weekly buy we're in already, that could be a nice move on the upside. All right, from there, we go back to the currencies, and let's check out the Japanese yen. Not there. Right there. Okay. Okay. There's the yen. Heading up again. And I guess if it's heading up, you got to assume that the... Where's that Nikkei again? Let's just take a look at the Nikkei. Nikkei is moving with the rest of the stock indices, I think. Right there. Yeah, it's coming off its lows. That's about it. Okay. So you can see there, the yen is lifting back up again, and it's trying to get back into the weekly buy. There it is on J4X, same situation. The pressure is on. let's see. Now, from there, we slide over to the Mexican peso. And that'll finish off the currency view. Unless someone wants to see something. What's YOLO do? I have to look it up. Wonder what YOLO does. YOLO. There's the peso. We go south of the border. Right there. See that pressure on it heading down, just like on J4X. There's the pressure. 3 weeks in the sell. And a lot of zigzagging going on. You would assume that the interest rate increase will shake them up a little bit. All right, from there, what else can we do? What else can we do? We can look at anything else on this Mexican peso. I think this. See how over here on the Mexican peso, can you see that? Yeah, you can. I think that's the interest rate increase. So I think that when they raise the interest rates again, it's going to probably push it down a little bit. There's probably going to be some type of adjustment. That would make sense to me. All right. From there, we go over to. Let's take a look at the energies, and let's take a look at North Sea. Right there, Brent. Playing with the high end, and as you can see, the pressure is on. You can see that right there. We're playing the century mark in Brent, and U.S. oil. Let's see. There's crude. And crude is just, it got as high today as 95.40. And you can see the strength in it. So, with all this, again, I have to just leave this simple caveat. Right now, there's no doubt. We're going to see, concerns about the energy market. And I guess, did I mention yesterday Saudi Arabia came out and said if the Persians are brought into, or the Iranians, I guess you call them. I don't think the Persians like the leadership to be called Persians. I think they just consider them Iranians. The Iranians, if they're brought into a nuclear deal, Saudi Arabia said they're going to drop the quantity of pumping, how much they're going to pump, because they're not going to allow the market to fall down in price. So that's a issue right there alone. If Mr. Biden is hell-bent on signing something with them, which he seems to, that's, it's not going to help oil markets, that's for sure. All right, from there, we jump over to, let's see what the back month looks like, too. And that's the October. Let's look at the December contract right there. So it's trading at 92.26. And spot is trading at 93.37, so it's actually building some premium. That's interesting. We were down to about 60 cents. Now we're up to about $1.10 from the back month, the contango. From there, let's look at nat gas right there. You see a little pressure on it this morning. And European natural gas has been getting punished, just flat out punished. There's the American natural gas right there. So you can see what we have here. That's that, same thing. Now let's take a look at European natural gas, which was trading close to 30 yesterday. There it is right there, isn't it? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it right there. It's down a little bit. It's trading at 29.45. It was trading in the 70s yesterday when we were looking at it, and the 80s. So there's a little back and fill going on in the natural gas market. They're trying to trick the Miami mayor to say he's running for president. Funny. All right. From there, we'll go over to the metals complex and see what's going on in the metals complex, unless anybody wants to see anything more in the energy side of this. There's silver. There it is. And you can see it's very close. You know, it's trying to get into the daily buy. So the pressure is on. It gave us a volatility signal yesterday. So maybe this is trying to turn direction. Both gold and silver and copper. You know, all of them are in weekly buys. And so is platinum. Let's go over to platinum. Well, we'll show you copper real quick. There's copper. Flirting with the daily sell. Just on the edge. But in a weekly buy for 3 weeks now. And there is the platinum. And there is, it's 3 weeks also. No, I'm sorry, it's more than that. It's going on 5 weeks now of a buy. But look at the damage it's taking from this nice sell-off. You know, we went to the sell here and it fell down, and it's still in it, but we're getting 2 days of back-to-back volatility signal. Maybe they turn the direction. Maybe you see silver. We get silver into the daily buy. We get gold into the daily buy. Then there might be a nice pop going on the upside there. I mean, you got to figure inflation. Normally when interest rates rise, the metals complex goes down because cost to carry. So, that's the stuff that's sitting on the edge of everything. So, that's where we stand with the metals complex. Is it's right on the edge, and we keep on thinking, and the reason why we keep on saying this and thinking it is that we think that, again, it all falls back to the election stuff. We think the markets are looking at this stuff and they're going to buy metals because I think they're going to know interest rates are going to come down under a good government. All right, from there we drift over to the stock indices. Which one's that? Okay, yeah. YOLO. There's the YOLO. YOLO. I wonder what YOLO does. I'm going to Google YOLO. And then I'll get over to the stock indices. Stock. It's a group too. It's a musical group. Advised share pure cannabis. Oh, it's a cannabis stock. Okay. We follow a different one. Here. We follow, what is it? What is it? I forget what the name of it is now. Pure Life. Pure Life. And was it CDC or something like that? CRC? Both of those. All right, from there, let's jump over to, where are we jumping to? Let's jump over to the stock indices themselves. And so here's the S&P 500. You see it's trying to get plus for the day. It's right on the edge. It is curving here. Let's put it up on J4X. right there. This is getting close to turning. It's down low, low, low. Look how low it is. So we could be getting ready to make a turn again. Can you imagine how the market's going to act if this market starts to go back up? I was, for some reason they've been reporting, buy and sell orders on the trading desk. And of late, there's just a bunch of offers, not any buys on some of the major trading desks. People are trying to sell. Oh, yeah, they're going to love that. They're going to start selling again. Next thing you know, the S&P is going to be trading at 4,500, and they're going to be like, uh-oh, what did we miss? What was the story we missed? They need to listen to us here, don't they? All right. So from there, we go to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's same situation, 4 days in a sell. You see it's been in a buy for 2, 4, 6, going on 7 weeks. Is the S&P 7 weeks too? 2, 4, 6, yeah, 7 weeks. Wow. So they're stepping up for these things. Let's put it this way. As much as the media is making a big story out of dropping 1,000 points or 1,100 points in the last 4 days, but this market could hold the ground here and turn around, go up, and then you're going to have pressure again. People are going to want to get long. They're going to need to do something. That's what they're paid to do. And then let's close it out looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. Same situation as the rest of them. We're looking at 7 days in a buy right there. There it is on J4X. And it's getting close. And look at the volume has been dropping out of that whole thing too. That's got to be a bullish thing, I imagine. When volume drops and it goes down, it means there's not a lot of sellers there. So then from there, we go to, let's go to the intraday right there. You can see Dow's only down 33, S&P's down 2.5, and the NASDAQ down 20. So that's pretty much the action we're seeing. Okay, there we go. The markets have opened. Or no, we're a minute and a half away. Look at the way they're starting to glide down. Would you like to watch it real quick through the opening? We can do that. You can see it's been pressing down. Went into the sell here. It's glided down. I guess they'll go after this low maybe. If they fail at it and they take out this high, you have to assume that they're going to make a good move on the upside. And that is that, traders. Don't have much more to say. Again, tomorrow will be Thursday. The more rumors of Jackson Hole will go around. Then Friday, it'll be really irritating in the sense that Mr. Powell won't speak until the markets are closed. So it won't really give us that much insight to what's going on. So rates in 2023. I figure, again, there's a lot to be said about November 8th. That's what it all comes down to at this point, November 8th. So, all right, we're done. We're going to leave the screen up for another 30, 40, 50 seconds so you can see the trading for the intraday trading with Doc's Math. So we got to come up with a name for this too. What do we call this today? Let's see. What can we call this webinar? Let's go to there and put it in. So the title today should be, anybody have an opinion on what the title should be? What did we talk about the most? Unfortunately, we've talked about the damn politics all the time. I hate that. Jackson Hole, we put that funny little story up there about that. Who's afraid of Jackson Hole? It's like a movie title. And I'm trying to think, what else did we talk about? We talked about this, let's see, Euro. let's see. How about this? Our title yesterday was like S&P and Euro and so forth. So, okay, the markets are open. You can see there it is. The markets are open, and for the last 40 seconds. So we'll see how they go there. They're starting to lift. Let's see if this is going to get some strength in here. A little volatility signal here. Let's see if it holds. Now this needs to stay up in here and not take out that low. Look at it goes. There they're starting to try. Oop, not try hard enough, are they? They've gone into a daily sell again. Right there. All right. Happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be tomorrow. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, traders. This is Doc from North America saying later.